Hi, I'm Barry Spielman, Product Marketing Director for Cybersecurity at Allot, and I'm pleased to have with me Eduardo Holgado, Director of Product Management, SMB Segment Owner here at Allot for Cybersecurity. Thanks so much for joining me here today.
My pleasure.
Okay, so I want to talk to you about SMBs. Are small businesses on the radar for cybercriminals?
Absolutely. Cybercriminals are targeting businesses of all sizes these days, especially when you look at that 10 to 15 employee business. That business is at very high risk. Why? Because first, they have a non-functional security solution in place. This means that they have something that they don't have properly configured. Also, some of them might not even have a security solution in place at all. So these guys, they are at very high risk of being attacked, and if they are attacked, chances are that attack is going to be successful because, again, they don't have proper protection in place. Now, if that was to happen, then typically for these businesses, what that means is shutting down, right? They go out of business because these attacks can even go as high as $200,000.
Right. One shot and you're done.
Exactly, and these guys again don't have a huge cash reserve. They live off loans. They are just starting, right? So again, successful cyber attack for them might mean end of business.
Okay, but they might not even have that kind of money. So why would they be so attractive to cyber criminals?
Well, cyber criminals these days are looking at these guys as the low-hanging fruit because they are not prepared and they know that. So they are just targeting them. Typically, in the past, in the old days, they were looking at these big organizations, right, where they were just persisting to get a nice amount of money. But these days, they are looking for fast profits. So they are looking at these very little businesses. Again, it's a numbers game. So they go one after the other. And once they are successful, then that's it. They go after the next one. If they're not successful, they are not going to keep trying. So if you look at the one single business, it's going to be very little amount of money. However, for the hacker, because they are looking at a very long list of businesses that they are targeting one after the other, then when you could put all of that together, then all of a sudden it's a very interesting piece of business for them, right?
Yeah, like you said, low-hanging fruit, numbers game, makes
Exactly.
a lot of sense. So what kind of attacks are small businesses exposed to?
Well, we are still seeing a lot of ransomware. This is something that, from the hacker perspective, once the payload, the malware is executed, is relatively simple in terms of getting the money back, right? Because once the malware is executed, then they are just waiting for the money to be paid in cryptocurrency, and that's it. So that's a very typical one, even for very, very small businesses. We are also seeing, of course, the usual phishing attack, leveraging social engineering techniques to go and lure the user to click on the wrong link, right? Enter there the credit card details, the username, the password, or PII, so personal identifiable information, right? They can just take and put it on the black market, on the deep web, and sell it and make profit. Of course, we are also seeing other types of malware, so they might just want to compromise the organization because maybe they are looking at a specific database that the business has or wants to compromise a specific system in the network. That also happens, so they infect a device and then this malware moves laterally around the network until they find what they need. And also quite of an interesting one because these guys, these small businesses are tied to suppliers, right? They are customer of theirs. Yep. If I am a hacker and I want to compromise a supplier, it's going to take me more effort because these suppliers are bigger companies. They have more strict security measures in place. So again, it will be more effort. However, if I am targeting the small business, I know there is an implicit trust between them, between the small business and the big supplier. So it's kind of like a backdoor. So I am compromising the small business, and
but
then
you're getting a deal, you're getting into the other one.
Exactly, okay. Exactly.
You kind of touched on this, but so if they're that vulnerable, why aren't they better protected?
Very good question. So we truly believe there is a big gap here. So when we are looking at the more or less up to 50 user company, 50 employee company, these are organizations that don't really have IT security skills in-house. So they look at the market and see what's out there, and maybe they look at the firewalls, right, that are specialized on the SMB segment. However, these firewalls first, they still require some level of knowledge to be properly configured, to be properly set up, to be used properly, and they don't have those skills. That's number one. And number two, they have a higher TCO, total cost of ownership, because they have to get a piece of hardware normally that they have to maintain, that it needs to be replaced. That again, it's something that it's an ongoing thing to maintain. So normally they just fall back to endpoint solutions. So when they look at those, it's something, it's a piece of software that you install. They are readily available off the shelf. They try to install them. Sometimes they install it on some of the devices, many of the devices. But in any case, it's something that is very easily left unattended, right, because it requires to some degree to keep an eye on them, to make sure that they are being updated, being maintained. So at the end of the day, they are being neglected to some degree. So bottom line, even if I have a piece of software, I'm not also covering all of the entire network, because, for example, let's say that I have an IoT device, right? I cannot install an antivirus there. Right. So I am missing that piece. Right. So again, bottom line, I don't have a proper solution in place. If I have a solution, it's normally misconfigured, or I don't have a solution at all.
Or halfway.
Or halfway, yes.
Halfway. All right. So in the new world that we live in, work from home has become popular, if not the new norm, right?
Yes.
So how is that affecting the security of small businesses?
That has a huge effect on cybersecurity. Well, first of all, when we look at it from, let's say, from a business point of view, so work from home is something attractive to me, right? If I think about the employee, I am saving some commuting hours. That employee doesn't have to go to the office as often. They get some flexibility. That's for them. For me as a business, I don't have to have as much of a big office to hold all of my employees, because they are not coming at the same time. So all things considered, it's a nice thing for both the employee and the business. However, from a cybersecurity perspective, this has a huge impact, because now we have to take into account a situation where normally you have a device in the old days that is in the office all the time, not moving, and I kind of have it under control. However, now we have a device that is going somewhere else, is connecting from other networks. Those networks are not being managed by me, by the SMB owner. I don't know anything about them. This can be the home of the employee. This can be a coffee shop. Can be anything. Bottom line, these are networks that are not controlled and are normally not secured. So the issue here is that if that device gets infected, most probably will get infected, that device is coming back to the office, right? It's coming back to the office.
And everyone else infected.
Exactly, same as COVID. It's the same idea. So we have something being exposed that then is coming to the office, and this is happening quite regularly. Right. It's a hybrid model. So maybe one day I'm connecting from Starbucks, the day after I go to the office, then I work from home, then again to the office. So it's a huge risk. So more important than ever, we have to make sure that we have proper security in place in the office, and for these devices, wherever they go, right, they have to be protected.
I understand. Okay, so given everything you've said so far, what makes Allot's approach to this different than others? Mm-hmm.
Well, so the way we approach this is a solution that is covering and protecting every single employee, every single device, wherever they are. So that's number one. And number two, we have a solution that is a solution that can be enjoyed, used, and consumed by any business. And they don't have to have IT security knowledge in-house. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then this is a solution that is built for the CSPs, built for operators. And what this is translating to is a solution that is fully scalable. It has a very low TCO when I look at the tenant, when I look at this SMB, and allows the operator to offer the solution at a price that any SMB can afford, right? Mm-hmm. So any SMB just can go and consume it. It's a very, not to say negligible maintenance, because it's something that I activate it and I forget about it, okay, which is solving a lot of the issues. And then on top of that, because it is something that we have created for the operator, they have full flexibility to configure the solution and make it unique. So they can create a specific offering for their market. They can also the user experience, they can make it unique. So it looks like as a unique solution, completely unique solution on the market for them.
All right, so just one last question before we let you go. You already started talking about why it's unique, but here's an opportunity, a day in the sun, to go a little bit more into the Allot solution if you want to share.
Sure. So let me talk about Allot Secure. So Allot Secure is what we call the platform. This platform is a solution that you are installing as an operator. This can be installed on premises, so traditionally in their network. However, it can also be co-located, or it can be hosted in the public cloud, okay, by the operator. And this solution is composed of multiple modules. And so if we look at the modules that we have, these are modules that the operator can pick and choose which ones are interesting for them. So I can start with Network Secure. Network Secure is our flagship product. It's deployed all over the world. It's a premium zero-touch solution that achieves very high penetration in very little time and provides security and content filtering for the SMB. Okay, so normally we see it on the mobile networks, but also we are seeing it on some fixed networks. Then we have a Business Secure, also part of the Allot Secure platform. We are seeing a lot of traction lately. And this is, think of it like an agent, a lightweight agent that is integrated with the operator CPE, okay? So there is no need to have any additional hardware. And this is something that is just, again, integrated and the SMB owner can directly consume. So again, the same concept, so just go there and activate it and configure it. And also same as Network Secure, it has the concept of being user-centric. So I don't have to configure Business Secure or Network Secure. I have a user called Peter. He works in sales, and I want him to be protected against viruses, and I don't want him to access any gambling, right? That's it. That's all I do. And then Allot Secure takes care of replicating that across all the modules. And then we have what we call Endpoint Secure. So Endpoint Secure is an agent, okay? And this agent is installed on the device itself. So the advantage here is that I can take that protection with me wherever I go. We were talking about work from home, so this is what I'm doing. I have a device that is now protected, so if I am going to Starbucks, then I am carrying that protection with me. And again, what is unique across all of them is this user-centric approach, and that allows me to be protected and to have one single policy, right, for content filtering. Now, each solution has unique advantages. For example, in the case of Business Secure, because this is something that I am installing on the router, is giving me this extra, let's say, advantage, because I am able to see attacks happening inside the network, or I can protect the CPE itself. If I am installing Endpoint Secure, I can also run a scan on the device. So it's an additional layer of protection, let's call it. But all in all, again, from the operator point of view, I have a solution that is Allot Secure with different modules. It's all unified. And also, of course, for the SMB owner, I don't have a concept or notion of different products. It's just something that is being offered to me by my operator that is providing me this unified security and content filtering policies for my users, right, on a per-user basis. And this is taking place wherever I go. So if I have my Business Secure at the office, protecting not only my users and devices, also my IoT devices. And then if all of a sudden Peter, he decides to work from home, I can also get Endpoint Secure for him, and then he's protected. That's it.
In short, a 360-degree solution.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Eduardo Holgado, Product Management Director for the SMB segment, Cybersecurity here at Allot. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
You're welcome.